Hey folks, Lana here with Cowboy Compass. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a review on a pair of 20X Wrangler jeans. These are the vintage boot cuts and we're going to check them out right after this. Alright, so today we're at the barn and I have these Wranglers 20X here. Now, I did a video a few weeks ago about the Wrangler 13 MWZ and, basically the ones I'm wearing on right now. And I was talking about how really well constructed they are. They're a little bit more old school and they just are a little bit stronger. Well, just after I made this video, ironically, I had my truck parked like in a ditch area right where the door is. And when I went to hop up on my truck that is lifted 6 inches, I was in a low area myself. I went and hopped up inside my truck for in a really deep part. And well, when you know it, my jeans actually blew. Brand new 13 MWZ stone wash, and they blew in that area, which was really not good. But oh well, it is what it is. Though I do got to say props to Wrangler because they do have an awesome warranty. They have a 1 year warranty, so I'm actually going to be sending those back to them, and they will be sending me a brand new pair of 13 MWZ jeans, the stone wash. These have held up great. Now, we're not here to talk about those. We're here to talk about these 20X. So these vintage Boots 20X are very particular pair of jeans where there's like the retro fit. Those are more for your nostril going out jeans. The 20X is supposed to be their competition rodeo jeans. So how are they different? Well, in some ways, they're very much like the retros that, they're kind of styled a little bit different. As you can see, they have the, these lines, that kind of wash right here, that modern wash, where they have the stripes on there. Also, they have a lot of thick stitching for styling that's going through. And in the back pocket, instead of having the W, they actually have all these designs right here. Their logos for that, of course, is the bull right here, bullhead. So that's, basically your 20X. They're very different in the way that they fit. So they are a more stretchy material. They do have a lot of stretch in them, unlike the 13 MWZs. They're very much like the retros for that aspect. However, to me, the retros actually fit a little bit looser, so I could actually wear my size. That's a 33. With these, I did have to go up a size. For some reason, they fit extremely tight. Also, they sit lower. So I actually had to go with a size 36. I think I would have been better off with a 35. They didn't have that, but I want to do this review now. In the last gene review that I did, someone actually brought up a very good point. I was thinking about that before he actually brought up that point, but he did bring up a good point, and that is that everyone fits jeans differently. Because, for instance, these ones they sit really low on your waist. Um, so I have like thicker hips, bone, but I also have a flat stomach. So when something sits a little higher, I'm not going to feel it as much. Now, if someone has some narrower hips, bones, and they have like a bigger belly, well, they're, a gene that sits high is going to be needing to be a little bit bigger for them. But if they could go down size if they have smaller hips, or depending on what's going on in that general area. Also, as far as how these fit around the boot, well, these are slim boot, or sorry, well, they're vintage boot. So they fit pretty straight right here in this area. I don't think they're as slim as what you would get out of the Retro Slim. Uh, but it does still sit slim on the thighs, as it says. But I don't think it's as thin, and they do have a little bit more stretch. And also, these have that boot cut, so they're going to sit pretty wide. So if you're going to be wearing these with a dress boot, like a Lucchese or something very dressy, they might kind of go under it. I would say, you know, your traditional boots will probably fit a little bit better, or wear something that's straight leg. But, you know, for these boots that have like thicker uh, shafts and stuff like that, that's a lot better to get, especially if they have a spur shelf. It will hold that chain uh, on your boots. So I'm going to go ahead and go in one of these stalls here and change into them and kind of show you what they look like. Now, one of the videos that I do have to record today is going to be on riding my horse. So I am going trail riding, and I will be wearing these 20X. And I will let y'all know how they do after I'm done riding. It's been several months that I've been testing out these 20X Wrangler jeans, and as y'all saw, I went on a couple rides, and I've been on several rides throughout the months. This is one of my favorite pairs of jeans, especially wearing at the rodeo and stuff like that. So I've really been able to ride in them and do a bunch of different things in them. And I got to say, they are a perfect mix of style and durability. So they're kind of a mix, like I said, between the retros, which are like more of a nicer wearing jean, and also the 13MWZ, which is more of like a working jean. So I really do like these. I like the style. I love the boot cut. I just love how they fall on the right pair of boots, because if you wear like these really classy, dress boots that has no spur shell, well, you're going to get this, which I've worn them with my Lucchese's and some other boots that are kind of shaped like that. And this is what you kind of get, where they kind of fall on the bottom of the heel and they get scraped up. But realistically, they have held up very, very nicely. And they actually look better with like boots like Rios Mercedes that has like these spur shells, Anderson Beans, um, Fenolios that are a little bit wider and that doesn't have that underslung kind of thing going on. So I really do like these. These jeans are actually made in Mexico. Um, and that is actually pretty good, because you're going to find some companies that are making their jeans in like China and stuff like that. I do wish that Wrangler made some of their jeans in the USA again. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Hopefully one day they will make these 20X Wrangler jeans in the US. But for now, I will take Mexico over any of the overseas country. I do like that. And they make them really, really nicely. And it's not a bad jean comparing the other jeans that you're going to find in that price range. For about $70, you could get a pair of these. And that's not bad, considering all the other companies are kind of putting out some really rough jeans that are made overseas and stuff like that for even more money than this. These are durable, they're nice, they fit good, they're comfortable. I've put them through many wash. So every time I go out for a ride, I get them filthy dirty. put them in the wash, and they come out good as new. So for $70 for a pair of jeans like this, I really do recommend these Wrangler 20X. They look good. If you want something a little bit more durable, but that looks nice, I would definitely recommend these. If you're like, let's say, wearing like the retro or other jeans that are more of a dress jean, but they kind of break apart well, these are going to be just a little bit more durable. They have just the right amount of flex in them, and I do recommend these. So that is all I have for y'all today. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.